Hey everybody. In today's video, I'm going to show you just a fun, messy technique that you can use on a very neat Christmas tag. I'm using the Mary Tag dies from Crafty Meraki. These are a great size. I love the big bold Mary. I'm going to be using the Christmas that I've cut out of glitter paper. And then I'm going to use the Spruce Up dies from Crafty Meraki, but I'm going to do something really different. There's a great layering guide on the back that shows you what she intended for this die, but I'm going to show you how to get even a little bit more out of it. So I've used some Canson cold press watercolor paper, and I've cut 2 sets of the Spruce Up die. You just need a water-friendly paper. You don't necessarily need watercolor paper, just something that will take a lot of water. And then I cut a tag out of a book page and out of the same watercolor paper because it's a great thickness. It's going to make for a great sturdy tag. And I am layering quite a bit on this tag. So you do want a little bit heavier weight tag base for this particular project. A heavier weight cardstock would be fine. So I just glued those 2 pieces together, and I also used that book page to cut out the garlands in the Spruce Up tree set. So I'll set that aside. And now you will see that I have 2 of each of the pieces for the die. Like I said, I cut them twice. And what I'm going to use those for is very fun. So wait till you see. But we are going to apply a bunch of color to this tree. And I have Distress Oxides. I have 4 different colors, actually 5 different colors: Peacock Feathers, Wilted Violet, Evergreen Bough, Pine Needles, and Mustard Seed. I'll show them all again at the end. I randomly picked these just based on their kind of general color family. I had not tried this combination out before I did this, and they are beautiful together. I have yet to find a Distress Oxide combination that is not beautiful. So I just try stuff and it seems to always work. They're very, very forgiving in terms of working together. So I've smushed them onto a little piece of craft mat and I'm activating them with a little bit of water. And we're just going to do basic wrinkle-free distress ink smushing. And I'm just picking up one color after another. They look beautiful together. You're going to be shocked at how great the purple looks in the end. It looks really, really pretty. I was kind of sparing with it in the beginning because I wasn't sure how the purple was going to look with all that green. But again, you can't make a mistake with Distress Oxides. They're just always beautiful. But whenever you're doing any kind of foliage, if you have any leaf dyes, if you have any tree dyes like this one, it's better to use more colors than fewer colors because it just makes the entire outcome so much more interesting. Look how gorgeous that purple is. Oh my gosh, it's so pretty. I love it. So I just keep going until I kind of run out of ink. I especially like the way that yellow looks. I just think that looks great. The yellow and the purple both. So again, don't listen to people who say you can't use complementary colors together. They look beautiful together. The purple here, I think, really makes this tree very special. So I will actually give myself a little bit more ink to pick up some of the larger pieces on the second iteration of this tree. And I just don't want to contaminate my ink pad, so I'm just going to go ahead and wipe off the leftover ink that's still there from the first session, being a little bit more careful with cleaning than I normally am, just because I don't want to contaminate those ink pads. So I'll even add a little bit of water for insurance before I go to put the next round of ink down, but I'm going to use exactly the same colors. This time I'm going to give myself a little bit more purple because I just was in love with how well that worked. I think that Fired Brick, or what is the other one? Crackling Campfire or the Candied Apple. I think those would be pretty, just like the purple is pretty. A little bit of red in there, give you kind of a Christmassy feel. But one of the things I love about this die is it's not necessarily a Christmas tree. It's just a layering tree. And I think you can use this all year for kind of scenic cards, and I think it would be just beautiful. Oh, I love that purple. I shouldn't have put it up at the top. It's so pretty. It'll be covered up when I go to put my tree together. But you're going to see plenty of purple, so don't worry. Don't stress. It's going to be fine. So I'll go through the same process. What's great about this is every single piece of this tree is going to look completely different. No two sections are going to look the same. And I think that adds kind of an artistic look to the tree. So these are the last pieces. They're the very tippy top of the tree. So once that's all done, I will just scoot my ink out of the way so I don't stick my already quite inky hands into it and make a big mess somewhere, which is unfortunately quite easy to do. So I am done using the ink now, and I will just give myself a clean work surface. You do want these to be completely dry before you go on to the next step, which is going to be putting together the tree. Now, this is what I came up with this tree. This is the reason that I cut 2 of these, because I figured out that you could make a tree that's twice as tall. If you just cut 2 of the trees, you could probably make a tree that's 3 times as tall if you cut 3 of them. But it just so happens to be the perfect size for this tag die. So I can make this nice, tall, Christmas vacation style tree and put it on this tag, and it will take up the whole tag. I just love it. Look how perfect that is. So this was just a fun discovery that I made after I got this die, and I think that you just get a lot more out of it if you can make different sized trees with it. And I think I'm still going to have room to put the little Christmas over on the side. So I put it all together to just kind of gauge where the top of the tree needed to be and kind of what the spacing was. But you can make it a more compact tree. You can make it a more spaced out tree. If you wanted to make the tree even larger than the one that I'm making, it would be perfect, perfect, perfect on a slimline card. So think about those options. Now, one of the things I noticed putting this together is, see that little notch in the center? That is in the center of the bottom of each piece of the die, and that really helps you align it around a center point. So I thought that was kind of genius. Didn't really notice it until I was going to put it all together. But that makes it really convenient for sort of keeping your tree balanced and in line. You can just use that bottom guide as a way to center your tree on your tag. So I think I only need one of the top pieces. I don't think I need both of those, so I'm just going to put one on there, and I'm going to pick the one that I really like, the little purple sticking out of. So look how great that looks, and see the center line that I'm talking about? That really helps. So this is so pretty and interesting and so quick and easy to create. If you wanted to add a second top, you could, but I'm not going to. Now I will glue down the little Christmas, and I'll kind of scooch it almost a little bit behind the tree. But first I had cut the garlands, like I said, out of the matching text. And I'm going to see if I want to add those now. And I think I do, because it ties the foreground and the background together. And it's also just, I mean, I have to use book pages whenever I can use book pages. That's just the way it goes. I like text, especially on my sort of mixed media cards. It's just something I'm kind of obsessed with. So I think I will put these little banners on and glue them down. I'm going to leave the rest of this unembellished. There are embellishments in this set. There are stars, there are ornaments, there's a candy cane, but I'm going to leave this simple because the focus here was really the color on this tree and then doubling that tree's size, which I was pretty tickled about when I thought about that. And so I just want to leave it pretty simple so the tree is kind of the star of the show. And I like how skinny those banners are, because they also are not covering up the color that I've applied to the tree. Now be sure and poke these little pieces out of your letters. There are a couple little places that are meant to be open, so don't overlook those. And now I think I do have enough room. And like I said, I think I'm going to tuck it under there. And that's just going to be a fun addition to a holiday tag, I think. Plus, it adds a little bit of glitter. And how can that be a bad thing? So I'll apply glue to this. I sort of just dot my glue around on my sentiments and just make sure that any kind of parts that stick out, like on the S at the end, just make sure that those have a little bit of glue on them. And with the glue, I get the wiggle room. I can make sure that the second half of my word is straight, which it was not at first. And you can see how much festiveness that glitter paper Christmas adds to the rest of the tag. Plus, it's a contrast in texture. Now, I put a little dot of glue down, and miraculously, I did not lose the dot to the eye. So I will pick that up with my little jewel picker and add that in. So much fun. Look at all those beautiful colors. I love this tree, and I love that it's twice as big as it was on the package. Very fun. So, and it still looks like a beautifully balanced, beautifully shaped Christmas tree. So I hope you try that. I hope somebody tries one that's 3 times as big on a slimline card. But let me show you what I was talking about with the little ornaments, the candy cane. There are even these gifts with different bows going different directions. So ribbons and bows, you can put those under the tree, in front of the tree, that kind of thing. But that's a fun addition. And they can just be birthday presents. So the tree and the presents can work all year, I think. They do not have to be Christmas. And then, of course, the Merry Christmas tag, that is a Christmas product. But I really think you could use this for fun birthday cards and fun scenic elements with this beautiful tall tree throughout the year. So once again, here are the ink colors I use, but try any combination that you have. They all look pretty. And head over to my blog for more information, and be sure and expand the description below the video today. Some very important information in there. And thanks so much for watching.